Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. My name's Emma and I'm filling in again for Imogen this week. So this week's video is all about props, which is something Mark has a big weird old collection of. So first I'm just going to take you through the cameras that we're going to be using. The two main ones we're going to be using are these two. Mark's Canon 6D. And then we're still going to take a lot of shots on this, but then we're also going to take a lot of the same shots using this film camera, which is the Canon SureShot Zoom S, which is one we've been using a lot recently, and there is actually a video about it if you want to find out more. So we're going to take a lot of the same shots using both cameras, and then what you can do is compare which we like more. And then also for a few of the shots we're going to try using the old Polaroid as well. So it is the most wonderful summer evening, really nice long shadows and everything. The sun is going to be setting soon behind me, and I'm just going to take you through some of the weird and wonderful props that Mark has brought along. There is quite a mad collection here, so I'll just take you through some of them. So the first thing I think we need to address are these guys, these little chums. They're pretty weird, kind of surreal. It's really strange when you hold their hair, because you suddenly realise it feels very familiar, very strangely familiar, and they're actually real human hair, used for like hairdressers to practice, different haircuts and styles and things like this. We've also got this really lovely carriage clock, which is totally plastic, which is it's got a really weird feel to it, but I think that could create quite a cool atmosphere, ethereal feel in a shot. We've also got this really cute little seahorse, which is dead or a skeleton preserved somehow. It's actually really sweet, really interesting, intricate, delicate little thing. Then we've also, to carry on the creepy theme from the heads at the beginning, we've got this guy, the Mr. Clown, playing a ukulele or guitar or something like that. So we think this is probably from Carnaby Street in the 70s or something like that, and he's got a really nice homemade feel to him. There's a lot of work gone into this, maybe papier-mâché or something like that, but pretty scary. I mean, I'm finding this absolutely terrifying. This is the stuff of nightmares. We've also got some groovy sunnies, that kind of wacky feel. We've also got a ukulele. This is where the green theme starts to emerge. Sounds lovely. And then Mr. Crocking around. He's pretty cool. I think he'll be good for some shots. Scaly. Then also green is this really lovely heavy typewriter, which has got green keys here, which is really nice. And then also typed on this piece of paper is some of the words from Pride and Prejudice, which will add to a shot nicely. Skull. This cool green telephone, another green thing. This is really cool. So we'll be using that. What else? We've got this mirror, that'll be handy, and this teeny tiny helmet, I guess for motorbikes or whatever. Yeah. So we will show you all the shots that we do with these props. Okay, so the first prop that we're using in the first shot are these crazy glasses, the kind of festival style. I've got this flower power dress on as well, so we're flower power to the max. So we're going to try all three cameras for this. Firstly, the film camera, we're going to keep the flash on, we're going to keep that on all the way, just so you know, for that. And then we're also going to use the Canon 6D, but we're not going to use flash for that. And then we're going to do the Polaroid as well, maybe with, maybe without flash. Okay, so the next prop is Mr. Crocodile. So again, we're going to use all three cameras, and we're going to try using Mr. Crocodile to cover myself like this. A good thing for doing this kind of shot is a dress like this, where it's just strapless. You can just pull it down. It's really quick and easy. You can just pull it straight back up, and it's all great. Okay, so the next prop we're using is this really beautiful seahorse skeleton. These are actually an endangered species in the UK, but this one is, as you can see, very dead. So with this we're going to do, I'm not even going to really be in it, it's going to be just my hands. I'm just going to do a close-up right on into my hands, holding the little guy. And again, we're going to try all the cameras and show you the shots. So we just found another prop. Bit weird. So yeah, we just found this hanging around and we're gonna take some shots with it. I mean, if this doesn't fit into weird prop, what does? So we're gonna use all 3 cameras again, do the shots. Okay, next prop, Skull. It's Skull time. We're gonna do a few shots with Mr. Skull, and actually it might be a woman, we'll never know. Maybe there is a way of telling, I don't know. Anyway, yes, we're going to do some shots with the skull using all 3 cameras, and we'll show you the shots. So I really hope you've enjoyed all the photos so far and all the props we've used. Unfortunately, time is running out and we haven't quite got time. We haven't got through all of the props that we wanted to, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's not the end just yet. We've still got a few photos for you, and the next set of photos we're going to do is all about the green, and we both love green, so these are going to come out really lovely. So props wise, I've got this green ukulele, the telephone and the typewriter, and again we're using all 3 types of camera. And I just wanted to just talk about, you know, why we're using all different types of camera. I think you know, digital cameras with really high resolution and everything, they definitely have their place and they're absolutely like fantastic and everything, and they create really wonderful images. But I think also it's good sometimes to go back to film, go back to basics, and it just creates a totally different feel to, and a really authentic, because yeah, you can actually edit a digital photo to look as if it's been taken on a film camera, but it's never quite the same, and I think it's really nice to create that really authentic, original, you know, old-fashioned feel in a photo. The thing with film is you get a much more sort of grainy, low-res, lo-fi, really sort of, the thing I feel about film is that when I see a film photo, I almost feel a lot more honoured or like special to have kind of been invited into that moment of someone's life when I see that photo and that moment that they took that photo. So I think it's a lot more intimate way of taking photos. So, you know, everyone's taking digital photos now these days. So when you're next on a shoot, whether it be landscape, architecture, portraits, whatever, try taking along a film camera. They're actually really easy to use, I mean, depending on which one you get, but this Canon Sure Shot Zoom one that Mark's been using today, and he's just stroking a horse over there. Quite surreal. Anyway, so this Canon film that I've got a lost track here. The Canon short camera that he's been using today is literally a point and shoot. It's so easy, just point, click, done. So take along a Polaroid if you have one, and I'm sure you'll be pleased with the results. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas, let us. Tell us if you prefer the digital photos or film photos. Let us know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. That would be excellent. Thank you so much. Bye. Weird. Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. My name's Emma and I'm filling in again for Imogen this week. Today's video is about how to take a super simple natural lit portrait, and this is going to be a really useful thing for anyone for like taking photos for a work photo or of kids or literally anything. And today we're going to be using really basic equipment and quite like undesirable conditions, so this is a really good one for you to try out yourselves. So we're going to be here in this tiny kitchen. You can see the space we've got to work with is really small. So Mark's going to be sitting there, and then I'm going to be in front of this lovely simple grey background. We've just literally taped a big grey piece of paper up against the cupboards, and that's something you can do at home as well. And then we're going to use the natural light from this window. It's a horrible grey day, but we're going to use the light that we've got to create a really lovely subtle natural light. So we're just about to take the photo, and just something worth mentioning here is you can literally use any camera for this. Because of the distance we're working with here, we're using a 50mm lens, which gives us just enough distance away from me without distorting my face, the shape of my face. And the camera that Mark's going to use is his Canon 6D camera, but you really can use any camera. Okay, so the only other piece of equipment that we're using is just a white piece of card. So a basic thing you can get hold of really easily. So this is one that Mark has cut out this morning, very neatly. and it's not even really white, it's got some remains of something or other on there. But anyway, so you can literally use anything as long as it bounces off a good amount of light onto the model, and white card does just the job. So for these photos we're going to use a really quite short depth of field. Mark's going to be shooting from 2.5 down to 1.8 f-stop. Okay, so we're shooting into the light at the moment, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit dark, just listen hard. I'm just going to show you exactly how we're going to set this thing up. So me, Emma, I'm going to stand right here in front of the grey, facing towards Mark, who's going to be on the counter, kind of perching and taking photographs. And then he's going to hold his camera in his right hand over here to photograph me, and then hold the whiteboard in his left hand, and then use the light that's coming in through the window, bouncing onto the whiteboard, and then direct it onto my face to really illuminate my face there. So it'll be like this, and he'll be snapping, getting me like this. Okay, and also one other thing worth mentioning is if Mark's arm gets tired or he needs to use his other hand to steady the camera or something like that, you can always ask the model to also be the person holding the reflector, so I can sort of, with Mark's direction, because he can see what I look like, tell me where to hold this and things, and I can help out over here. Okay, so we've just taken the shots here, and I'm just going to show you the effects of the piece of board and how well it works. So as you can see right now, this is where we took the photos, and right now I'm sort of white and black. There's really strong light on this side of my face and lots of shadow on this side of my face. So to overcome this is where the board comes in. I'm just going to show you. So this is where we would hold it in place around here. You can fiddle about with it to get the best angle, but so now you can see it's a much more even coverage of light across my face. So I've just taken it away again now. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. As you can see, it really is a really quick and easy way to create a really simple but effective natural light portrait, and you can really play around with it. I mean, we've used this grey piece of paper, but you can do it anywhere around your home, and you don't have to use a grey piece of paper. You could use like a neutrally coloured wall, or you could even bring in some colour matching. So say I was wearing like a red blouse, you could use a red wall around your home or something like that, so you can really make it fit for the environment that you're in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something useful from it, and I hope you try this out. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. My name's Emma and I'm filling in again for Imogen this week. Today's video is on using cameras as a prop in photography. And cameras is something that Mark has a lot of, like a weird amount of. So first of all, I'm just going to show you a few of his cameras, then we'll go through a few of shots where he's used camera as a prop, and then we're going to replicate a photo of me with a camera as a prop. So first of all, just to show a few of his cameras, his prize cameras. It's the classic Olympus Trip, which is one of your favourites, right? Yeah. Yeah. Then next up we've got another classic, which is the Polaroid, but this is a bit of a rare one because it's got a green button, which is really cool as well because green is Mark's favourite colour, so it's a double win whammy there. And then this is a new purchase for Mark, which is really cool. It's a 3D camera, so you put like both your eyes in, super crazy. And then another one is this one. You'd think, oh okay, here's another old camera. Wrong. Brand spanking new. This is a sprocket rocket, and yeah, it's different from the others because basically along the back 3 photos get exposed all at once, which makes for a really cool effect. So then in a moment I'm going to talk you through some other photos that Mark has taken in the past using cameras as a prop. I've just been thinking about why they work so well, and we've been thinking that because our audience is for people that like photography, cameras are also something that, well, it's something that they're interested in, looking at different types of cameras. So we think what goes down really well, because they're often really popular photos on Flickr itself. And also we've been thinking about how a really important part of Mark's photography is often the eyes and the face of a model. And when someone's holding a camera, it, like basically up to their face, it really does draw your eye into their eyes and almost acts as a sort of a third eye in the photo, that kind of round lens similar to the eyes of the model. So the first few photos I want to talk to you about are ones where Mark is taking a photograph from 45 degrees above down to the model, and in these ones it's the very beautiful Imogen. She's lying down on a sofa and she's holding this beautiful old Polaroid land camera. And you can see here Mark's tried out a couple of different crops, and he's also tried black and white, and we think it works really well, especially when you're holding a prop that's really old, like this really old camera. It kind of, with the black and white as well, it gives that more kind of antique feel. Then the next photo, this one, Imogen's not leaning back quite as far, so she's sitting up a bit more upright, which means that to still get that 45-degree angle, Mark had to go a bit higher. And just on a practical note, if you're anything like Mark and the most clumsy person in the world, make sure when you're at high heights, standing on chairs, sofas, ladders, whatever, don't bang your head and don't fall over. And so yes, this one works really, really well. So this next photo I want to talk to you about is another one where Mark is again 45 degrees above the model, but this time it's of the very beautiful Marianne. And this photo for me is really, really stunning. What I absolutely love about it is the shapes that Marianne's creating. There's lovely sort of sumptuous curves, but also really strong angles, and this amazing balance to the composition of the photo. It's just so perfectly balanced. And what Mark's done here is done a square crop, and Marianne just fits so perfectly into that little square, and I just think it works so, so well. Here Marianne is holding an 8mm cine camera, which is a really cool camera, and when you see the photo right up close, her eyes really light up the photo, and it's just absolutely draws you in. So these next photos I want to talk to you about are again using the cameras as a prop, but in a much more different way to the photos that I've previously shown you. In the photos before now, the camera's really been right up in the centre of the image as the main event, really centre of attention, right up next to the model's face, really to draw you into their face. But in these ones, the camera is a much more sort of secondary component to the photo. It really adds another layer of mystery, but it's as if the model's just on a day out or something, they've got their camera and the camera just happens to be there. It's really not the main kind of focal point of the photo. But in the end, I think it works really well to make a really relaxed and sort of normal, everyday kind of feel to the images. So this first one is of the very lovely Tanya. She is holding an Olympus, the classic Olympus trip camera, and here the image is in black and white, which again I think adds to that really sort of relaxed feeling. It's very sort of low key, it's all very, you know, everyday. And here there's Tanya really is leaning against this wall in a sort of daydreamy, really, really relaxed way. And sometimes what Mark does to create that relaxed feeling is ask the model to sort of move around, take lots and lots of different shots in different positions, but all working, you know, in the same position, like on the same wall with the same prop, but just trying out kind of adding movement to the photo and just falling into those natural positions. And then the second shot is of me, and I'm sitting on these sort of dingy old steps. There's a really great sort of bleak colour scheme here, and I'm holding a Polaroid camera, and we think that this actually works really, really well with my shoes as well. They're both of the same sort of feel to them. So we were talking earlier about how photos with cameras as props in work really well in black and white to give that sort of old antique kind of feel. Another way you can kind of achieve that kind of feel is by using Polaroid to take the photo of the picture where the model is using a camera as a prop. Just really creates that sort of old-fashioned kind of vintage cool feel. So this first one is of Tanya, the lovely Tanya, and she's holding a Rolleiflex camera, which is a really good cool camera. And the colours here are just wonderful, the greens and her hair, kind of the shapes all work really, really well. And the second image here is of Marianne and I. We did a sort of magazine style shoot in a car. And the good thing about having two models in a Polaroid is it always works really, really well, because the two models can fill up the whole frame. If you see Tanya, there's a lot of space around Tanya, which works well for that photo, but in this one of Marianne and I, we both take up the whole frame, which works really well for the square format. Another thing that's going on with this photo is I'm holding the camera up to my face, so it's kind of cutting off half of my face, which creates a good contrast where you can see the whole of Marianne's face, but add another interest where you can see half of my face. The final two photos that I want to talk to you about are the ones of the beautiful, lovely Helena. And this first one is in black and white. As you can see, she's holding this lovely old Russian camera. And I think it works so well in black and white here. Mark's really tried to make a lot of the black and the white. There's a lot of strong blacks. She's wearing this black top and she's got very dark coloured hair, and then there's a lot of white. She's got lovely white skin in this photo, and there's not sort of many tones of greys in between, so it's a very stark photo. Also with the camera, the body of the camera works really well in the black and white as well, and also with this photo the close crop I think works really well, drawing you right into Helena there. And this second photo is also of Helena, but here Mark hasn't used her beauty in the photo. It's more kind of abstracty. She's kind of got her hair swept across her face, and it's a really lovely fluid shape, and she's lying down on a bed, so Mark's directly above her, which is quite an odd angle. You don't see that often in photos, and I think it works really well here. It's quite an interesting angle. And again here, the camera is kind of more of an afterthought to the photo. It just adds another layer of interest. So we've just taken a few shots in here with the very cool Canon film camera that Mark's got here. So the colours are working really, really well in here. They're all really soft and really complementing each other. Lovely. So I'm wearing some black tights, kind of relaxed at home, hanging around kind of feel. A denim shirt, and I've also got a bra on here that we've used kind of for some shape as well. So I just tried a few poses, laying back here, leaning back, holding the camera, and doing some of the things that we were talking about earlier in the video. And just so you know, here we've got two windows with lots and lots of natural light flooding onto me. One right over there, and then one next to me here. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please do let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to know and everything. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thanks. Bye. Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. I'm Emma, and today's video I'm going to be explaining to you ISO. Now this can be quite a daunting and scary part of photography, but hopefully after this video you will be in the knowing. In the olden days, using film photography, maybe some of you still do, you would have to go and choose which film you want to buy to take photographs. So if you were shooting at night, you'd have to get a film with a higher ISO compared to your standard 100 or 200 ISO. So what does this mean in digital photography? Basically, in your camera there's a light sensor, and when you change the ISO, you're changing the sensitivity of that light sensor. And so what we're going to do now is take a few photos in different lighting conditions, changing the ISO, so changing the sensitivity of that light sensor, show you the results and explain what's going on and why. Okay, so we've just taken a photo here of me, and it's a great morning. There's lovely morning light that we're using outside here, and for this first shot we're using a very low ISO of 100. It's very light, so 100 is absolutely fine, and because it's a low ISO we're not experiencing any problems with noise or a nasty quality to the image. It's coming out very sharp, clean and great. Because we're shooting at ISO of 100, Mark's being able to use a speed of 400. Now this is all fine and everything, but just to let you know, you often can't really shoot below a speed of 100, otherwise you get camera shake. Okay, so we've just taken another photo of me, but this time we've moved inside, good for the warmth, and so obviously there's less light available here, but we're using natural light coming in from this window onto me like this. So because it's slightly darker in here, Mark's using a higher ISO of 400. So this means that it allows him to work in conditions with lower light and still be able to get details in the photograph, but this is where issues with noise may start to arise, but with this photograph we're okay. And here Mark's using a speed of 125 and sticking with the f-stop of 1.8. So we've just taken another photograph in this pretty horrible gross light. I do not look good in this photograph, but this is to show you an example of a very high ISO. So we haven't got any direct light coming out onto me here. We're in quite a dark room, lights are turned off, not much natural light. So Mark's using an ISO of 4000, but he's sticking with the same settings of a speed of 125 and f-stop of 2.8 again. So because we're in such a high ISO here, we're getting into the territory where graininess and noise is starting to become an issue. And as you can see here in the image. Okay, so we've just taken the final image in this near pitch black bathroom. No, it's not too dark, but it's very, very dark. And so Mark's having to use an ISO of 8,000, which is very, very high. But he's sticking with the same other settings so you can see the differences. So we've still got a speed of 125 and a f-stop of 2.8. So as you can see here, we really are having issues with noise and graininess. So not ideal for the kind of photograph that we're trying to take now, you know, a portrait, but it can work well if, you know, if you're in a club or it's, you know, it's nighttime, and this is really the only option you really have to boost up the ISO, and it can look quite cool and kind of gritty and cool. But also another tip is that if you do end up with noise in your photograph, if you switch it to black and white, it can make for quite a cool shot. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you've understood what I've been trying to explain. If you like the video, like it, and please subscribe to the channel and write a comment of what you think about it and any ideas of what else you would like us to make videos of. Thanks for watching. Bye. In the knowin'. In the knowin'. Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. My name's Emma and I'm filling in again for Imogen this week. Today Mark and I are in this derelict house which we're going to be doing a shoot in, road testing Mark's 24 to 105mm Canon L lens, which you can have a look at here. And just to let you know, there is a pheasant shoot going on outside at the moment, so if you hear any gunshots, that's what it is, so don't worry. So generally Mark and I use a 50 or 85mm lens for portraits, but we also have this in our bag as well, which we do use sometimes, but today we're just going to be using this, and we'll show you the photos that we take on this shoot. So it's a really great lens, and I'm just going to tell you a few things that Canon says about their lens. So it's a Canon EF 24 to 105mm f4L IS USM lens. Which is the professional photographer's lightweight standard zoom, offering a great focal length range and a more compact construction than other standard zooms. And just a few bullet points that Canon have put together. It's an L series optic lens, lightweight 4.3 times zoom, constant maximum f.4 aperture throughout the zoom range, with a 3-stop image stabilizer, super UD and aspheric lens elements, fast autofocus, super spectra coatings, circular aperture provides pleasing background blur, and it does come with a soft case, which we have here, and a lens cap, but we've actually lost that already. But here is the soft case. We've just found this great big bath up here, and we're going to take some photos in it. But what we did was we just moved it around slightly to get it where we want it to be, but it is super, super heavy. And it's fairly low light conditions in here, so we've also got Mark's tripod here, which we're going to use for some of the photos, but we'll tell you if we've used it on the photo or not so you can see. And the same for the settings. We're going to try out quite a few different settings, but we'll tell you on the photo what settings we've used. So I'm wearing this really nice dusty pink dress, which we feel works really well with this environment and the colours here already. And yeah, we're going to take some photos now. So we've just moved to a new location in the house, and I've also got a new outfit on, which this is pretty crazy dress, kind of a prom bridesmaid type thing, fairly garish. I feel like a fairy or a princess. I've got my tiara and I'm ready to go. So we've just taken a shot here, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out. We used a really wide angle, and the camera was over there. Mark took the photo from over there to me sitting down there. And as you can see, there's really big windows there, which were shedding lots of light onto me there, so it doesn't really matter, there's a window behind me. And what I really like about this shot is we've really kind of created a story to it. There's lots of things going on it. It's really higgledy-piggledy. And we're in a really old house, about 16th century, so all the beams and doors and everything and floors, nothing straight. It's all very wonky and higgledy-piggledy. So we've just found this really incredible attic kind of space. and we're going to try and take a few photos up here. So I've put on this really bright red dress, which we think will work really well with all the really dark colours all around me, so the red will really stand out. And there's a really beautiful window just over there, but it is the only window in this space. It's the only light source, and we haven't got any reflectors or anything like that with us, so it's going to be quite difficult to get light onto my face because we want to photograph with me next to the window. So it is going to be there's going to be a lot of shadow on my face. We need to work out ways of just getting enough light to pick up a few features on my face. But I think these photos are going to be really interesting with lots of light and dark kind of contrast there, with lots of shadow. And another thing worth mentioning is that the lens that we're using, the 24 to 105mm, is really perfect for kind of tight spaces like this. We've just come downstairs to a new location to try out some more shots. So we've got a great big window here, putting loads of natural light into the room. We've got a really lovely kind of burnt orange colour wall here, which is working well with lots of things. With what I'm wearing, this green sort of 1970s really nice thick woolen blanket, so the orange and the green work really well together. It also works really well with my skin tone here, we think, and also the blue of my eyes hopefully is being picked up by that orange behind me. We hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe and share this video. Thanks, bye. Hello and welcome to Weekly Imogen. My name's Emma and I'm going to be filling in again for Imogen this week. Mark and I have just arrived here in Brighton. It's quite early in the morning and we're going to take you through one of the shoots we do here today. Mark's going to be using his Canon camera with a 50mm lens, and he's also going to keep the f-stop at 1.8 for all the photos today, which means we'll get a really lovely blurry background. Mark and I have just come off into this old Victorian promenade which overlooks Brighton Beach. We've just taken a few photos here. There's a really lovely minty green colour in all the railings, so we've taken advantage of that. As you can see in this photo, Mark's taped back my dress slightly to create a bit more shape, and also the wind has picked up my hair, create a bit of movement, which is really nice. The next photos that Mark and I have just taken are here on Brighton Beach. We've arrived here quite early, so there's not many people around, which is really ideal for this kind of photo shoot. It seems like we're alone. I'm wearing this really gorgeous kind of pinky floral dress, which I love. And to take this photo, Mark had to lie down on the ground to get really close to the pebbles. And what he's trying to do here is get my eyes really sharply in focus, and then it slowly goes out of focus for the rest of the photo. Mark and I have just taken a quick photo outside a cafe behind me. It's a famous sort of biker cafe here on the Brighton promenade. And if you look carefully in the photo behind me, there's a film poster of the Marlon Brando film, The Wild One. Mark and I have just come off down from the pier where we bought this I Heart Brighton lollipop, and we're using it in a few photos now to pose with. So we've just taken a photo here in this shade, where I'm in the shade and behind me there's this bright wash of light. And the idea of this photo is to have the pier in the background as well as these deck chairs in a really nice blurry background, and then all together it kind of creates a picture postcard style photo. Here we are under Brighton Pier. Mark and I have just decided to recreate a photo that he took here with Imogen. The photo that we've taken today is actually quite different from the one with Imogen because the light is totally different. It's a lot lighter and brighter, and what it's done is allowed you to see much further down the pier behind me and created this kind of tunnel effect. Mark's always felt with this photo it's really important to wear a dark, plain colour, so I'm wearing this black dress, and Mark again has taped it back at the behind me and to create a really nice shape at the front. I've just had a look at the photo on the camera and I'm really, really pleased with it. And I think with this one it's worked so well with the 1.8 f-stop because the background behind me, the pier, is really unusual structure, and it's created a really strange kind of visual illusion. And I really love the colours in this photo with the industrial pier, this kind of rusty colours, and then strange things hanging off the structure with old fishing nets and ropes and things like that, which are pops of orange and green. I hope you've enjoyed coming on this photo shoot around Brighton with us. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, bye.